Dominique here with 6 Degree Travel and Apparel, and I am announcing which safari I am personally going to tour lead in 2027. I have one opening left, and it's going back to my favorite country, Zimbabwe. When? February 2027. Probably around the 11th or 12th, somewhere in there is when it's going to begin. How does it look? We are going to be, for day one, is going to be arriving at Victoria Falls Airport. We pick you up. You're going to see my face with your name on the board, and I'm picking you up personally. Day one is basically just your relaxed day. It's kind of your day just to catch up, chill out, relax by the pool. It's all inclusive, so you can have as many beers as you want and as many snacks and dinners and lunches you can just enjoy. Day two is when we are going to be going to see Victoria Falls. They are going to be at their peak in February. Unlike when I normally go to Zimbabwe in November, they are at their lowest. Now they're going to be at their highest, so it's going to be spectacular to see. We'll do a quick town tour and everything while we are there anyways. Then we're going to go back to Mazui Lodge. Mazui is about, 15 minutes out of the kind of town center of Vic Falls. But it literally feels like you're out in the middle of nowhere. It has its own watering hole there. So there's lots of wildlife that come to drink there. It's very peaceful. You're in elevated luxury tents. It's a beautiful, beautiful spot. Day three is when we're going to go into Botswana for a day trip. We are basically going to zip to the border. When I say zip, it's quite close. In an hour, you're in Botswana. We're going to spend the day on the river. We'll have like a river safari. And then we're also going to have game drives in Chobe National Park. That's the full day we're going to be gone. Come back, spend the night at Mazui Lodge. The next morning, we are going to go to Wange National Park, and we're going to spend 3 nights at the Hyde. The Hyde is spectacular. It is a lovely, lovely, gorgeous tented camp. It's called the Hyde because it literally does have a hide. It has an underground kind of bunker type thing that gets you right up close to the water hole so that you can see the wildlife very close. The Hyde is also where they have that tree house that I keep telling everybody about. It is free of charge for anybody that wants to go stay in the tree house for a night. You only get to have one night there. And it is on a first come, first served basis. So basically, being as we're there for 3 nights, really 3 couples will be able to utilize it. Again, first come, first served. Get it? After the Hyde, we leave and we meet Paul from Paul's camp. We're going to stop at Painted Dog Conservation. We're going to learn everything they do with wild dogs. There might be some wild dogs there in rehab, which would be amazing to see. There usually is. Then we're going to be going to Paul's camp, and we are going to be meeting all of the anti-poaching rangers. We're going to learn a little bit about what they do on a day-to-day basis. It's a very, very chill vibe there. The only tourists that are allowed there are people from basically our company. That's the only ones that he's ever allowed. And then the second day, we're going to be going into the communities to learn more about what Paul and his rangers do for the communities. We'll get to see the community gardens. We'll get to see the boreholes, wells that they drill for the communities. We're going to stop and visit 2 different types of school, a private school and a public school, so you'll get a concept of the difference between them. We do not interrupt the classes. If a teacher invites us in, great, but I refuse to interrupt classes when they're in session. Then, of course, that final evening is the famous Paul's Pizza Party. I'm not saying more than that. You gotta be there to know what I mean. Then we return back to Mazui Lodge in Victoria Falls, and we have just kind of a relaxed day. Everybody gets to just wind down and enjoy, chill out by the pool, drink some beers, do whatever you like. This safari is completely all-inclusive of all your alcohol, all of your drinks, with the exception of at Paul's. There's an honor system there, and they're very cheap to drink something there. Then after that, it is your airport drop-off, and then your safari is done. So, green season, that's when it is, in February. It's the tail end of the wet season, so there's still a chance we might get some rain, but it's going to be beautiful, lush green. There should be lots of babies on the ground. For anybody that's ever been to Zimbabwe with me before, it is night and day difference from what you have seen in November. It is like night and day. Now, I say that with the touch of you never know, because there's been times I have been to Zimbabwe and they don't even get their first rains until January, and normally they would start in November, late November, and it very well could be hot and dry. It's always going to be hot, but it could be quite dry already, and everything's starting to get brown when we go in February. The wonders of nature, you just never know, do you? That is your announcement. That is the only time that I am personally going to tour lead in 2027. I'm already scheduled in for Tanzania previous to this one. So if you are wanting to go with me, I'd love to have you. Love to have you. You get kind of a little bit of the ins and outs of all the people that I have met there. It's a little bit more personalized. How many people are we going to take? Generally, I need to have 8 people to make it feasible for me to go. Otherwise, it just gets too expensive. Simple as that. So 8 people can come with. We're going to be using open land cruisers when we go on safari, which means they're basically open on the sides. It is a fabulous way to be able to appreciate the wildlife. Plenty of room for, gosh, technically 10 people in those, but we're really only going to be 8 with me, 9. So lots of room. I make it fair when I'm there that everybody shuffles around to different sections. So if you're sitting at the back one safari, the next day you're going to move to the front. That way everybody rotates through and it's fair. I guess that's one of the perks of having me there. And then I kind of get the inside scoop for you guys on what there is to do and see. Let me know if you're interested. I will send you the pricing. It is on average, I think it's around 400 a night, if I'm calculating correctly. Do let me know. Sorry, driving here, so I'm trying to concentrate as well. And we will get it done. I'm so excited to be able to meet you, to be able to share my favorite country with you, and to give you the ins and outs on everything that I have learned in all the years that I have been going to Zimbabwe, especially all that I have learned and the people that I have met doing conservation work within that country. So, okay, excited. Let me know. info@6degreetravel.com.